Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 10th of May 2011. Getting through these particular years of NXT is, well, difficult to say the very least. But once we get through to about season 7 or so, things definitely improve. We have the Matt Striker out there, and he's bringing out Lucky Cannon, also hype from Raw, including the, I guess, debut or soon thereafter debut of Karma. Lucky Cannon is the first guy out, and then we see Titus O'Neil out there. Basically, everybody's kind of talking to their pro and kind of waiting on that process. And then they kind of talk about elimination forthcoming, which is, it's about time in this particular show. This is the fourth or something like the 10th episode of this particular season, and everybody's running after each other. Everybody's trying to do like a capture the flag type game, which is goofy, and I mean, it just kills time. Titus O'Neil gets on the mic and is pretty aggressive. They've doing more with Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, we wish. Titus O'Neil and um, yeah, his main Darren Young, main adversary there. They're going back and doing another match for what seems like maybe the sixth or seventh match on NXT. O'Neil is obviously sending his opponent around the ring, kind of tossing him around, basic stuff. He does the bark and also takes the man down in the corner and gets a decent run of good stuff there. Hard shots by his adversary here, and we kind of get to a hard shot and ultimately a takedown and an armbar there by Young, and Young manages to do everything he possibly can to get things going back in his general direction as we see a kick, and ultimately doesn't get all he wants on that, but gets enough of the process to kind of take the man down a little bit, and Darren Young again manages to take him down with a side headlock and get some ride time on him. Match is longer than it needs to be. Chavo Guerrero cheering Young on at ringside, and Young does get a cheating victory and going around. There is more of a bit of a fight with the Sambo style or martial arts style stuff with Kozlov and Conor O'Brien. That continues. Also, Jason Novak and William Regal are here. Byron Saxton makes his way out. Yoshitatsu looks to be excited in that particular direction. Conor O'Brien and Byron Saxton go at it. Nice side headlock takeover and basic stuff here. Doesn't get all he wants on it, but gets enough, and it's easy to see that Saxton comes up. He's got more charisma than the average. O'Brien is able to use power and some cheating tactics along the way to get himself an advantage. Takedown and a fold up into kind of leg grapevines, basic stuff, nothing necessarily to write home about, but at the same time, an attempted figure four among other things, and ultimately we get to a deeper run there. Eventually, we see a win by Byron Saxton. Yoshitatsu tries to take some credit, but in fact, the distraction from the Maurice thing makes Byron not as happy to have Yoshi as his pro as normal. More flirtation rather, between Maurice and Lucky Cannon. Cannon basically is being made into a dummy. He's bringing her presents that are supposedly expensive. She still is unsatisfied. Maurice obviously looking like the gold digger in the whole thing, and he says he knows what to bring her. We go to highlights from SmackDown and more battles there. And then there's music hype and a video package about the Novak and William Regal thing, which I mistakenly only almost put into last week's process, but it's actually just in this week's. Anyway, Novak makes his way out and is alongside his pro JTG. More talk about Regal being old and over the hill and unnecessary. Regal, obviously a crowd favorite because he has all the experience he has. Amazing to me that he was still wrestling here in 2011. I didn't realize his career went on quite that long. Anyway, the corn rolls of one Jason Novak need to probably go. Regal obviously does very basic wrestling and tries to get things like arm bars and basic things over. Novak is schooled, and we see both uppercuts and forearms by Regal. Regal manages to do everything he possibly can to get things in a good direction here. Ultimately, you get what you get when you get it, and we kind of see some runs of basic stuff here. Takedown by Novak. Novak manages to go in a direction that isn't necessarily very productive, to say the very least, and Novak manages to kind of brawl down on him a little bit. Punches, forearms, elbow drops in the leg. Regal comes back, but also then gets nailed with elbows in the corner. JTG is reasonably satisfied at the ringside area that his man Novak is getting everything he can out of things. Regal does finally get his man down and manages to get the Regal stretch on him. Doesn't get all he wants, but eventually Regal gets the victory and gets the stretch, and the fans are happy as one would expect them to be. We will be back with more right after this.